Hey there, and welcome to the Herbal Moon Goddess podcast. My name's Kyra, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about how I started tarot reading and tarot reading for others and actually getting paid to do it. So if you want to start tarot reading and reading for clients and actually getting paid to read the tarot cards, then this episode is for you. I'm going to be sharing my journey of how I started out and how you can also boost your confidence and get started on your own. I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks as well later in the episode for you as well. So I pretty much started off reading tarot just for myself. I don't even remember what prompted me to buy my first tarot deck now. I guess I just found this herbal tarot deck. It really resonated with me at the time. I was studying to become a herbalist, so I was really into the magic of herbs. And yeah, I found this herbal tarot deck and it just really called to me. So I bought it. And I started reading for myself, just doing new moon rituals, full moon rituals. I'd set my intentions on the new moon and I'd pull a few tarot cards to give me a bit of guidance or give me a bit of clarity or just, I don't know, some sort of message from the universe to support my new moon intentions. And over the years, when I just started off, I was just reading out of the guidebook. I'd pull some cards and I'd look in the guidebook and I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, over the years, I began to kind of gradually wean myself off the guidebook. I was thinking I want to learn how to read the cards confidently without needing to look in the guidebook. I want to just be able to know what the cards mean without feeling oh, hang on, I've just got to check my book. So I started trying to be a bit more intuitive. And I pretty much just read the cards for myself for years before I had any sort of confidence to read the cards for others. And then I started off doing readings for friends and family. And I guess sometimes I probably had the guidebook there to guide me still during those first few readings I did for others. But doing that, just starting to read for others, getting someone that you trust to do a reading for them so that they can give you some some feedback and some guidance can really help you boost your confidence. So that is probably my number one tip. If you want to get started reading tarot cards for others and you want to start getting paid to do it, just maybe start off by offering a few free readings to your partner, your kids, your parents, your siblings, close friends. Someone you've got to kind of pick and choose who's into the cards and who's into all this spiritual sort of stuff. If you have someone and they're not really into it, don't ask to do a reading for them because chances are they won't really vibe with it and they'll just give you bad feedback anyway. So choose someone who's going to be really supportive. So yes, start building up that confidence by reading for people who you trust. And even if it's just doing a few cards and you're still reading with the guidebook, that's fine to start off with because it helps to build your confidence and also build your confidence in the cards because you start pulling these cards and even though you're reading by the guidebook and you're not really using your intuition that much, often the other person that you're doing a reading for is going to give you great feedback and be oh wow, you know what, these cards are really spot on. And so as your confidence grows in the cards and also in yourself and that message that you're seeing in the cards, then it gets easier. You start trusting your intuition and you stop relying on that guidebook so much and you start trusting your intuition and that message that's coming through from the universe that you feel called to share during that reading. So back to my journey. Yeah, so I think I started doing some readings for like my sister, my husband. They're like the most supportive. My grandmother was like really supportive as well. And that really helped me boost my confidence in reading the cards, because I had supportive people in my life who encouraged me and gave me great feedback. And I learned how to trust my intuition more. So I guess, yeah, fast forward a few years, I started doing markets. I started going to local markets and selling like crystals and smudge sticks. And just before my first market, I had this great idea. I'm going to start tarot reading at the markets. And like, it was probably like that same weekend, like the day or two beforehand. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do readings at the markets. And it was just a spur of the moment decision. And I was just like, oh my God. But the universe was just like really pushing me to do it. I just felt this calling to do it. I felt like that's what I needed to do. And so I remember my first market. I live in like a kind of small city in the country. And like, yeah, when I first started out doing spiritual stuff, I didn't really feel like there was others who were into this sort of stuff. But anyway, I showed up at these markets, and yeah, like I actually had people come and pay me for readings. Like I think on that first day I did maybe 2 or 3 readings, which was great because honestly there weren't a lot of people around. Like I said, I live in kind of a small city/town. So I was thrilled. And to start off with, all I was doing was offering a $10 reading, and I was just pulling 3 cards. And in those 3 cards, I was just like doing like a past, present, future sort of spread. Or if they wanted to know about relationships, I was doing a spread which was like you, the other person, and the relationship. So having a knowledge of a few spreads that you can use is another really great way to boost your tarot reading skills when reading for others, because often, you know, they'll ask you a question. Like one of the most common questions is about relationships. Other people want to know about money. Other people just want to know, you know, what the cards have to say. They just want to know what their future holds or something. So knowing different spreads is a really great way to build your confidence so that when people ask questions, then you have a spread in your mind and you know how to kind of use the cards to tell a story and to get the message through in a way that makes sense and that helps the client. So yeah, I started doing readings at markets, doing these in-person readings, which was fantastic. I did that for, I don't know, probably a year or so. And then COVID happened and no more markets. But I also started doing online readings. So for doing online readings, I started off just doing written readings. So people just come onto my website and pay for the reading, and they'd put through the question that they want to ask for the cards. And I think I was charging like a similar sort of thing, probably like a 10 card spread for $45, or there were other variations as well, like depending on how many cards. And so then I'd, do the reading, I'd take a photo, write out the report and send it through to the client. And I really enjoyed doing that, I think because like I'm a Gemini and I love writing and stuff. But I've transitioned now from doing those written tarot readings, because honestly sometimes it would take me like forever to write things out. And now I'm just doing online readings via Zoom, which is like a video call. So I'm doing these live readings online, and I find it so much better when you do have someone there face to face to give you feedback and to ask questions along the way as you're doing the reading. It really helps you connect with their energy a bit more. So if you are wondering how to start doing readings, there's a few options for you how you can start doing readings. So some tips to help you get started. Number one, start offering it. If you feel called to start reading tarot cards for others in a more professional way, if you want to start getting clients for reading the tarot cards too, you have to start offering it. So, if you are on Instagram or Facebook and you kind of already have like an ideal audience who you might be interested in getting a reading done, just offer it. Like, it doesn't have to be too complex or elaborate. You can just do like Facebook Messenger calls or FaceTime calls or something like that. You can make it as simple or as difficult as you want it to be, but just start somewhere. It's not hard to get started doing online tarot readings, either through like written reports or doing online video calls. Just start offering it. You can set up a quick payment link through PayPal or something, and then just organize to meet at a time and date via your chosen method. So yeah, you just have to sometimes take that leap of faith and start offering it. So with that comes my second tip, which is build up your confidence. So confidence is a major factor here. And I see so many tarot readers who don't feel confident in what they have to share. And, for the longest time, confidence was what held me back too. In fact, I remember doing a reading for a beautiful lady once. And at the end of the reading, she said to me, like, yeah, the reading was great, but you just have to be more confident in what you have to share. And I was just like, oh my gosh, my lack of confidence is showing up and really like dampening my readings. And so from there, I really listened to that beautiful client. And it was funny because at the time, the cards were all telling me like to remove your self-doubt, remove those limiting fears and that sort of stuff, and to build your confidence. And so I listened and I just, started acting more confident and started to feel more confident. And that really helps. Like, if you're doing a reading, don't be like, oh, is this happening for you? Like, be more confident. Like, oh, the cards are saying this is what's happening for you right now. Be confident in what you have to say. Be confident in what you're seeing in the cards. Be confident in what your instincts and your intuition is telling you. So yeah, build up confidence. And I've already talked about, building up your confidence first through doing some readings for others who are more supportive. Like, you can just offer a few free readings, offer your sister a reading, your partner, your grandma, whoever, like your cat. Do a reading for your cat if you have no one else. It's really fun to just start doing readings for others in a comfortable and relaxed way. It really helps to build your confidence. And also, the other thing that I see with tarot readers these days is with that lack of confidence comes the lack of confidence with pricing. So while I do suggest just do a few free readings to build up your confidence, once you feel more confident, like, put a limit on how many free readings you're going to do to start off with. Then be confident in your pricing. Like, charge what you are worth. Like, I see so many tarot readers who really undervalue their time and their skills. And it's really important that you do value yourself highly, because not everyone can read the tarot cards. Not everyone might be as intuitive as you are. And you may have other gifts and skills that you weave into your tarot reading services. So be confident in what you have to offer the world, and be confident in your pricing when starting to do tarot reading professionally. So moving on to another tip, the final little tip for you for this episode is to learn different ways of reading the tarot cards. Because often, clients will show up and they'll have, a bunch of random things that's on their mind that they want to ask the cards. So like I said before, knowing a few different spreads can be super helpful. So that way, if someone comes to you with questions about relationships or money or their family or something else like that, then you may already have a spread in your mind that you can just use. And that just makes life so much easier, other than kind of stumbling over the cards and not really sure what to ask the cards as you're going through the reading. Like, just build up some practice, get to know a few different spreads. Feel free to make up your own spreads too, but learning a few different spreads can be really beneficial. And learning how to read tarot in different ways as well can help, such as learning how to ask time-related questions and knowing like what cards symbolize different sort of time frames, because often people want to know when something is going to happen. And although I like to have a little disclaimer that the future isn't set in stone, it can be really fun to learn how to kind of tell when something could happen. So keep learning tarot. Like, there's always so much to learn when it comes to learning tarot. There are hundreds of different ways that you can interpret the cards depending on the questions that are being asked. So keep learning different ways of reading the tarot cards. Keep building your skills as a tarot reader, and you'll go really far when reading for clients. So if you want to know more about reading tarot cards for others in a professional sense and getting paid for reading tarot, I invite you to the Professional Tarot Reading course, now available in the Herbal Moon Goddess Academy. Inside the Professional Tarot Reading course, you'll discover the tips and tricks to upgrade your tarot reading and how to set up a tarot reading business. The link for the Professional Tarot Reading course is in the show notes below. So I'd love to hear your insights from this episode. Share with me on Facebook or Instagram at Herbal Moon Goddess. The links to my social media are in the show notes as well. I'd love to know, have you ever read for others? What have you learnt from reading for others in your life? Or maybe are you thinking about setting up a tarot reading business but not sure where to start? Let me know. Let me know your questions. Let me know your insights. I'd love to know. And yeah, have fun reading the cards. I'll see you in the next episode.